What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today at the request of Jeff Hughes. Jeff Hughes, we're talking about this for you. Specifically, my thoughts are about the Bitcoin Cash halving. Now, this is going to be, I think that's an interesting question. It's an intriguing question, none the least, because a lot of people, they hear about Bitcoin Cash, they might know about it, and most people in crypto, they know of it, but they don't know about it. The idea of the Bitcoin Cash halving often gets overlooked, just like the LTC halving does, and I very much do think it's going to be significant. There's not really too much to look into as far as like what I expect to happen around the halving. I expect it to be very similar to BTC's halving, right? It's going to cut the supply down in half, making Bitcoin Cash an even more. Here's the deal, guys, okay? Bitcoin Cash isn't a new coin, right? This is a misrepresentation, this chart, of BCH, okay? Okay, for BCH, technically, this is an accurate interpretation, but at the same time, it was a hard fork. It was a hard fork. That means that before this month here, Bitcoin Cash, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon, by the way, but before this month here, Bitcoin Cash still existed in the form of BTC, right? In the form of Bitcoin, it existed. It forked here. It had a hard fork, right? And every person who had BTC had BCH. That's how the hard forks work. They share the same history. It doesn't stop here. It goes back just as far from Bitcoin's beginning to where this was. Like that's how far back it goes, and it matches Bitcoin's price action to a T beyond what we see as the existence as far as like BCH comes into. So what I'm trying to get to is, imagine you've got Bitcoin here, right, with the exact same fundamentals, essentially, like as far as tokenomics goes. There's only 21 million coins. Every single Bitcoin that's been lost in history before this, which, by the way, right, most Bitcoins, there are probably still, every year there are Bitcoins that are lost forever, but the majority of them, like the millions of them that are gone, that are locked away forever, Satoshi's wallet, and then just mishandling of the technology. We didn't understand it, we didn't have proper precautions to take care of it. Some people just didn't take it seriously. They had thousands of Bitcoins or whatever just locked up, and they threw away the key. They don't know where it is. It's essentially burning money. All those Bitcoins that are lost forever, during the halving, or during the hard fork, when those wallets, those addresses also had Bitcoin Cash, deposited because it was a hard fork, or not deposited, I guess, accredited, the same thing, whatever. Those are essentially gone as well. There are Bitcoin Cashes that are gone forever too, and each year there are, and with BCH, I'm sure there's more savvy people directly involved than there are with BTC. There's savvy people involved with BTC too, but the crowds are more attracted to BTC. And when you have new people attracted to crypto, are they buying BCH or BTC? Most likely they're buying BTC over BCH, even though BCH is the better Bitcoin Cash. I'm going over all this just to explain that the tokenomics are literally the exact same. Okay, literally the exact same. The halving schedule happens essentially every 4 years. Bitcoin Cash, I think, is going to, let's see, when is the BCH halving? April 2nd, so it's a little bit earlier than BTC. But the block reward will be the same. Like, you're going to be receiving the same amount of BCH as BTC. It's even more. It's just as scarce, but dramatically cheaper. Okay, so is it going to do just as good for BCH, the BCH halving, as the BTC halving would for BTC? Absolutely not. It's going to do dramatically better. It's going to be one of the best things that happens for BCH. And in fact, with the last cycle, we just got robbed, man. We got robbed for whatever reason. We didn't see new all-time highs. Maybe this thing is an absolute piece of crap scam coin and it doesn't again, and then we go down. I don't think so. I know a lot of you guys don't think so too, but this isn't just a pipe dream, right? This literally is the better Bitcoin. I know I'm kind of a standalone person in the BCH community, which, crazy, man. I'm a part of the BCH community. I feel honored. I'm a standalone person in saying this, but I don't think BCH will ever overtake BTC, unless BTC devs and like laws and stuff like that, like literally change Bitcoin into something that it isn't. And I know a lot of you already feel like it has. And I've heard about Roger Vere's book. I want to read it. MHAT, shout out to you for, I think you posted that. I think that was you. Maybe it was Smooth Operator. Shout out to both you guys anyways. They're the major BCH heads. Veto, if you're still in the Discord, man, I haven't heard from you in a while, but shout out to you too, brother. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to everybody in the Discord. Shout out to everyone in the House of the Dragons. I appreciate you guys a lot. What was I saying here? I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really good. I think we got robbed, probably for the same reasons that Bitcoin got robbed last cycle, which is, the dollar started to expand. Beyond that, who knows, man? Maybe there were still some BCH people that whenever they got their free BCH from holding BTC, they didn't sell. They were waiting, and then it came up here, and then they sold. Who knows? Maybe it was whale suppression. Maybe it was manipulation. Maybe not. Who knows? But long story short, we're in this long phase of accumulation. We're about to see the halving right now, like literally about a week from now, a week and a half. Will it skyrocket prices? I don't know. Let's see. When was the last Bitcoin halving? Having date history. It would have been May, right? Having dates. Let's see. It won't tell me. Everybody on Google has the Bitcoin history, but not the BCH history. I don't know, man. It would have been sometime probably around May in 2020. Right? Which would have been here. So we moved sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, and then we went up. But we also were just coming out of the COVID crash. Totally different circumstances right now. There's a lot of bullish talk across like the world economic sectors. I don't know, what word am I looking for? Like you've got quantitative easing coming back in, inflation's being mitigated, so they say. There's talk of interest rates being dropped down, which I guess that also goes hand in hand with quantitative easing. We're not in COVID times anymore. The Russia-Ukraine conflict is still going on, sure, but it's old news. We kind of know what to expect of it, more or less. Like everybody was scared of that Russia-Ukraine conflict because we didn't know if it was inciting World War III. I never thought it would incite World War III. I'm an optimist, but also a lot of people, our media here in the U.S., I'm getting off topic, guys, but our media here in the U.S., we were spinning it as though Putin was a madman who's power hungry, power crazy, and he's just crazy. And it's like he might desire power. I'm sure any political figure of that rank would take all the power they can get if they can get it, as long as that doesn't mean they're assassinated, right? But he's not dumb. He's not crazy. Seems like a calculated person, to be in control of Russia for as long as he has. I don't think the media. I think our media was making it seem like he was just doing this for no reason. It was warmongering, and so a lot of people in America and probably across the world thought that was going to lead to World War III. I don't think Putin wants World War III. I don't think anybody wants World War III. And I think we have, mutual assured destruction to keep us safe, essentially. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I'm getting off on a whole different topic here, guys. What I'm trying to say is we don't have that unknown in here anymore, right? We don't have that uncertainty. Markets do not perform well in uncertainty. And if you disagree with me on anything that I literally just said about the Russia stuff, that's okay. We can disagree, man. We can have different opinions. That's okay. We're not even talking about the TA yet, too specifically, right? Just going over things that literally last cycle could have been the reasons for holding us back. Everything good that we've got going this cycle was not there, and it was even at the point of an opposite. We had quantitative tightening, we had high inflation, and then world economic uncertainty because the U.S. froze all of Russia's assets, and the ruble actually increased afterwards. It actually went up in value afterwards. A lot of economies were suffering due to inflation, not just the U.S. dollar. And the U.S. dollar, even though it had high inflation, it suffered the least of the inflation. I'm going over all this stuff, man. I'm getting all caught up. Really what I want to talk about is just BCH, okay? We're at the 618 right now. We tipped it. 534, we tipped it. We literally tipped it. We were $4 away from tipping it, but we tipped it. tip. We are just now getting overbought. We have 7 days left in this month, you guys. We have 7 days left in this month. If we can close in the overbought zone, I have two theories. One, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. And two, it's not going to be like it was last time. Last time we got overbought, and it was literally for 1 month, and then the next month we went higher just to fall lower, and then that was the end of it. I theorize that this time we're going to sustain months in this overbought zone. Months, several months overbought. You think this candle was big? You think this candle's big? You guys, we literally right now, we might this year see, if not in the next quarter of a year, we might see the biggest month on an open to closing basis that BCH has ever seen in its given history on Coinbase here. It literally might be the biggest month we've ever seen. Okay, since the hard fork. And I say that again specifically because going back, technically, BTC's biggest gains happened in its early days, which is the same gains for BCH. They have the same history. They share the same blocks. It's the same thing. So as far as what the halving does, I don't know. I don't know. To answer your question, Mr. Hughes, I don't know what the halving's gonna. I know it will have a positive impact. I think it'll be far more positive than the last cycle's impact. The reason for that, I've already gone over that. I even got sidetracked on going over that, but also, we just don't have enough to compare. There wasn't any other halvings around other than this 2021, and we have a totally different look. We're in totally different hemispheres of the RSI right now, right? Back here during this halving, we were below the 50. Here we're in the overbought zone. It's not even the same. We've got decent volume over here, where here we were very low in volume. Like it's not even the same stuff. So as far as will it be good? Yes, probably. Could we see stagnation? I mean, it is possible, but just getting in the overbought zone, I doubt we move sideways. So we're probably going to see Bitcoin Cash do what it normally does. You guys ready for it? I'm going to tell you what it normally does. In situations like this, it's going to do phenomenal. It's out of the top like 50 coins. It's going to be the best grower week after week after week. It's literally going to be like, if not the best grower, in the top 5 out of the top 50 coins. It's going to be the top 5 movers out of the top 50 week after week after week, if not the top. And nobody's going to talk about it. Nobody but me. Nobody but Ethan. Nobody but, I'm sure, Senior Scientist is still talking about him. Shout out to Senior Scientist. And there's other people too. What's the guy's name? Smooth Operator. You gave him a shout out in the Discord. Is it Crypto Thesis? I don't remember his name. I think it's Crypto Theory. I'm not 100% sure. I watched his whole video though. He seems like a cool guy. Seems weird, but I like my weirdos, man. He seems cool. He seems like he'd be a fun guy to hang out with. There's not a lot of people talking about BCH, man. And it's going to do what it normally does, which is it's going to move up dramatically in the shadows, and people will see it. You'll see all these big YouTube accounts going over the top coins, and they just won't talk about BCH. They just won't talk about it. They'll be like, oh, the most you'll get is like, BCH is up 30% today, but whatever. Like, I stand by it. We, this year, potentially in this next 3 months, will see the biggest monthly candle on an open to close basis that Bitcoin Cash has ever seen since the hard fork. I stand by that. Like we are in different times. Okay, we are in different times than we've ever been. There's so much going on, guys, that we haven't even talked about on this video, and I want to go over it, but I don't have the time tonight. I will go over it later this week, but I've gone over it enough times too. Things with BCH versus BTC. This is going to be the first cycle, you guys, that BCH gains value consistently against BTC. We're seeing the signs now. It's happening, man. This is a time machine. A lot of people want to buy BTC at 67K. That's cool. 65K, whatever it's at right now. That's great. It's the same tokenomics, right? It's literally it's a hard fork. It's the same thing. And it's not the same thing. BCH is actually better. It's a better thing, right? It's just less accepted, less adopted technically. But there's definitely work being put into this. It's not a forgotten coin. It's not a dead coin. Yet you can buy it at $483. Like, if you look at, if Bitcoin is worth 67K, BCH deserves at least a quarter of that, if not a half of that, if not that same price at some point. You know what I mean? And here it is at 483. It's literally a time capsule. Okay, BTC is paving the way for what we know BCH will achieve later. And again, I don't think BCH will ever overtake BTC, but you never know. If something were to happen where people were kind of more aware and more accepting, more open-minded to understand BCH versus BTC and what happened back here, it could overtake it. It is possible, but I think it's like anything, man. Better technology aside, the OG, the accepted OG is the one that remains, right? Like, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. In BTC, it's like ETC is just, it's the classic. It's Ethereum classic, right? To Ethereum, it technically is accepted as the OG as well. It's the classic version. They even give it in the name, but ETH is the more accepted one by the masses. So it maintained the higher market cap. It maintains the true Ethereum status because that's what people believe. So as much as the BCH crew, the Dragon Riders, the House of the Dragon, as much as you guys want to say BCH is the real BTC, and maybe it is, you know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but most people don't see it that way. So as far as that goes, herd mentality is normally wrong, but in this case, herd mentality is what dictates that. And herd mentality dictates that this is not Bitcoin, at least not for now. If it were to ever be accepted as the one true Bitcoin, there would have to be some serious flaws, some serious issues going on in the code, I don't know, in the blockchain, in the ecosystem that is BTC. That's the word I'm looking for, in the ecosystem. And I just don't know if that'll happen, man. Power can corrupt, and maybe the people in power with BTC, they probably are corrupt, but you know, will they see their baby burn? Maybe, maybe not. If it does, BCH will definitely take the stage, man. That would be the most bullish thing to ever happen, would be for BTC to have some kind of fatal flaw or like something that goes against its protocol that it just shouldn't have happened. But man, I'm rambling at this point. I really got nothing else to say. I left the music on again, man. I've been doing that tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me. But that's all I got to say, guys. If you like the video, hit that like button. I did a lot more rambling than I did TA. I do think BCH is moving up right now. I think we're like literally, look at this. I didn't even go into the TA, bro. And I already said that I'm done with the video. I'm not done. You bounced off your overbought zone. You closed a new weekly high. There is less volume, which I'm not as excited about, but hey, it's still above average volume. On a daily perspective, guys, we're doing the right things in the right places. Could we do the classic BCH stuff where we come up, we get people excited, and just as we get people excited, we come down, and then we go up, and then we, you know, like, can we be volatile? BCH is a very volatile thing, so absolutely. But this is a really positive looking week right here, guys. Very, very positive. Yes, there's bearish divergence right now, technically, but it's not severe. We could move down literally $10 and divergence completed, whatever. And that's only if this week closes red, by the way. So in this week, could we move down $10 and then move up $40, $50, $100? Sure. You know, inevitably, I do think that we are moving up higher. I do think this was the low. If we move lower, we're just going to form a higher low. I doubt we break below $400 again. At this point, I even doubt we break below $450. But the next target is $600 to $700, and we absolutely could potentially make a move all the way up to like $935. And that's all I got for you guys. So if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.